Well, guys, some massive news has been unearthed for Kansas State basketball in the transfer portal. A huge player to talk about in today's video. We'll talk about it and more. Full disclosure, I'm operating on the bare minimum here. You see the background, you see the mic set up. We're about a week and a half removed from moving to Kansas, so things are kept to the bottom of the barrel. That said, the same cannot be said for Kansas State basketball as PJ Haggerty enters the fold for Kansas State. Now, when I say enters the fold, he's not chilling on the sidelines. He's not sitting as far as humanly away as possible. He's not on the other team's goal line and we're at the 1 yard line opposite field. That's not the situation. PJ Haggerty is a legit option for Kansas State basketball. A massive change of the tides for Kansas State for Jerome Tang and the boys. Now, I'll read you the initial report because this comes from Hitmen Hoops, and they said this just kind of out of the blue, mid-workout for your boy, and I basically stopped the workout, got it done, because, you know, it's what we're about here on the channel. Stopped the workout, paused for about 5 minutes sitting there on the leg press, read everything I could on PJ Haggerty because I was blown away about the report. Sources: Kansas State has emerged as a serious contender for Memphis transfer and All-American guard PJ Haggerty. Multiple sources tell me. NC State had been the favorites for the top transfer, but the sources add that Kansas State has the momentum. Source adds that Kansas State's financial offer is expected to be stronger than NC State's. Haggerty is turning his focus to schools now that the NBA draft combine is over, where he absolutely crushed it in these scrimmages. Now, that's the truth. PJ Haggerty is an absolute bucket. Let me try to put this in perspective for you guys. I'll read the stats, I'll read the background, I'll read the 24/7 numbers, but let me just sum this up for you right here. If you're anybody in the country and you have a dartboard of every single player in the transfer portal and you could just randomly pop on one, the player at the center of the dartboard is PJ Haggerty. The player that's the bullseye for every team in the country, not just Kansas State, is PJ Haggerty. This dude is one of the best players in the country for a reason. All-American last season at Memphis. And can I just say, Kansas State and Memphis, that pipeline is weirdly back and forth. We've seen everybody hit both sides of that. Naquan Tomlin goes there, Tyreek Smith comes here, Doug McDaniel's now there. There's more that I could mention. It's crazy to see the back and forth between Kansas State and Memphis. That said, there might be another player entering the fold, and folks, Kansas State might just get the best one of all. Now, last season with Memphis, he was an absolute dog. Averaged more than 20 points per game. He had the third most points per game in the country at 21.7 per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists on 47.6% shooting from the field. In addition to those numbers, he connected on 36.4% from three and 81.8% from the free throw line. Those are really good numbers. The 6'3" sophomore, now junior, from Crosby, Texas, looking to Kansas State. A guy that's going to be an NBA player. Everybody knows that. No secrets here. This season in the transfer portal, he is the best player overall. Now, 24/7 Sports has him listed as the second overall player. Let me double check who he's behind, but the number one overall point guard in his position, behind Yaxel Lendenborg from Michigan. That makes sense because he's an incredible player. That said, PJ Haggerty is up there with just about anybody in the country. Kansas State fans being crushed that Bennett Sturts didn't make his way to Manhattan. This is the guy ahead of him. This is one of the two players in the country ahead of Bennett Sturts. PJ Haggerty would be a massive addition for Kansas State. If there is a quintessential player that changes the entire makeup of a roster, it is PJ Haggerty for Kansas State. The roster you've built in Manhattan this season. And I'll read you his stats, I'll read you a little bit of everything, but a 5-star transfer to say the least. It would be the biggest addition under Jerome Tang in the transfer portal if you're able to get the job done. You look at the roster you have around him. Every single piece is waiting for PJ Haggerty alongside them. Think about this. Andre Kostic, one-and-done type player in college basketball. I think he'll be here for 2, maybe just 1 year, goes to the NBA draft, going to be a talented kid out of Serbia. He is an elite scorer, a super talented scorer of the basketball. Alongside him, Abdi Bashir, who is ridiculous, can score from anywhere on the basketball court. Nate Johnson, kid who is a defensive presence, MAC player of the year, can score in transition. The limits to his game are things that PJ Haggerty does well. And Kansas State sits there looking for a true point guard. This is your guy. Go get PJ Haggerty. This is what Adam Finkelstein, director of scouting at 24/7 Sports, had to say about him this season. You know, these guys get write-ups just about every year with every step forward they take. This is what Adam had to say. Haggerty's now been to 3 schools in 3 years, but he's put up over 21 points per game in consecutive seasons at Tulsa and Memphis, respectively. He's a total stat stuffer who averaged nearly 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per game, and did it while impacting winning as Memphis won 29 games and returned to the NCAA tournament. He has solid backcourt size at 6'3" and pretty physical style without necessarily being a dynamic athlete. He's also a talented playmaker, albeit one who was a fairly turnover-prone last season. One area of clear progression was his shooting. He still has an unorthodox release, but he progressed from 29% from 3 at Tulsa to 36% at Memphis. More specifically, he was 42% on open catch-and-shoot threes and improved from just 10% on off-the-dribble threes to 33%. That's a massive jump, which may not be great, but it at least makes him a threat. The defensive end of the floor should be his next area of emphasis, as there remains room to grow on that side of the ball. Insert Nate Johnson right next to you, the guy that is a defensive presence. That is a dude in the backcourt. The thing that Kansas State needs right now is PJ Haggerty. The thing that anybody needs right now is PJ Haggerty. Now, NC State has been incredible. They hired Will Wade. They've made some good moves. They've tossed money at about a bunch of big players. They've been rumored to link just about every single big name in the portal. They're also looking at Darian Williams right now. That leaves them spread pretty thin in terms of competition. Now, Kansas State, you've added really great pieces, and the one glaring spot you have is at the point guard position. You add PJ Haggerty, and you've got a top 15 level talent team. Like, that's a ridiculous team. That is a team that should get back to the NCAA tournament on paper. And if PJ Haggerty, a former All-American in Manhattan, that's how you get butts back in the seats. It's an incredible roster from start to finish if you add PJ Haggerty. I know there's something to be desired in the front court, considering we don't know where the eligibility's at with Tyreke Smith. That said, I like Kamari McGriff. I think he's a good player. It's interesting to see where they're going, but if you get PJ Haggerty, the biggest addition under Jerome Tang at all, like, period. 23 spots higher than Coleman Hawkins in terms of a transfer portal addition, not to throw Coleman under the bus. Like, this is one of the best additions in college basketball this season. Kansas State, stalking, watching, waiting for the right moment to strike, jumps in the conversation after the NBA Combine. If you can get PJ Haggerty, you seal the deal. You have a great basketball team on paper, because you look at this. If you go with the starting five of this, I'm just tossing stuff out. I don't know who's going to start. I don't know who's going to sit. I don't know who's going to come off the bench. PJ Haggerty's going to start regardless. Alongside him, you've got Nate Johnson, the MAC Player of the Year, who is one of the best defensive guards in the country that is physical in the backcourt, 6'3" as well. Like, Kansas State's been a spot where they've had 5'10" short kings, and sub 5'10", I guess I should say, at the lead point guard position. You got 6'3" as your two backcourt spots. Then you've got Andre Kostic at the 3, or Abdi Bashir at the 3, whoever you want to toss out there, probably Kostic as of right now. A kid who many expected just to wait a season and go to the NBA draft out of Serbia. Then you look at the 4 spot. I've been saying it. I've been rumored saying, like, Elias Rapique's been in the fold for weeks. I don't know if that's the truth or not. No one's confirmed it, so take that all with a grain of salt. That said, that kid is my guy on the team. I've already embraced him. I think he's a talented multi-level scorer, defender, rebounder, facilitator. He is going to be legit at the 4 spot. And then you toss either Kamari McGriff at the 5, Tyreke Smith at the 5, whoever you end up with at that spot, with either Abdi Bashir coming off the bench, or if you want to toss any of those guys in that middle of the order, whether it's the 2, 3, or 4 on the bench, whatever you want to do, that's a damn good basketball team. One you can compete in with the Big 12 Conference. Like, that is taking a huge step forward. BYU's legit. Kansas is probably going to land Darian Williams if NC State doesn't. We know how good they are. Texas Tech is good every single year. Now they got Grant McCasland. You got JT Toppin, one of the best players in the country. PJ Haggerty enters there as the newcomer Big 12 Player of the Year. I'm just going to say that right now. And if you can get this job done, Kansas State is back. That's where I'll leave it at for today's video, folks. I just wanted to talk real quick. I usually make a script for these things. If you can see that I'm a little bit all over the place, it's because it's caught me off guard. That said, the Cats would be back with PJ Haggerty. That's where I'll leave it at for now. And I'll be sure to update you as things go forward. But guys, that'll do it. And I'll talk to you soon. Go Cats.